I got my third delivery from Coles today. Slightly out of the window they mentioned, like just 7:15 to 8:15. I think it's probably about 8:30. But one of the concerns I had was because one of the items wasn't available. So what they do is they'll do a substitution, and they'll put a substituted item in to fill in for the one that they haven't got. Now I bought one of their generic condensed milks, which are only $1.60 each, and that what they did was they substituted it for a Nestle one, which is actually also not made in Switzerland, made in Spain, I might add. So the cheap ones were from Lithuania. That's the generic ones from Coles, and the other ones, the Nestle, come from Spain, and yet they're more expensive. I think about $2.20 a can. So I had 2 cans of those. So I thought I'd be paying an additional $1.20, for instance. But the driver actually told me that in the case of a substitution, you cannot be charged more than the original item anyway. They'll always they won't charge you any further amount of money. So that's great. In other words, I'm getting the more upmarket version of the condensed milk, 2 cans of it, and I'm not paying a cent extra. It's just one of those little perks of being ordering online. And as I say, the other big advantage of this, apart from the convenience and only having to pay $2 to get it sent out here, the other major advantage is when you get your greens and what have you, they generally give you the pick of the bunch. That's what I've found. I think they're trying to make sure that people who order, they don't want to have hassles with you, because it's more of a hassle to have to come back to a place or whatever. I mean, they don't want to have a delivery issue. They just want to avoid them like the plague, I think. So you really are treated better, in my opinion. That seems to be what's happening. I've only had this service 3 times. It's the 3rd time today. I've just got to go and water in those plants, by the way. I just planted my, finally got around to, about 10 days after buying the damn things. That's the Vietnamese mint, and it's already starting to wilt again. It really needs a crap load of water. And the other one there is the rosemary. Now I've checked up online, and apparently these are the 2 that do like a lot of sun. So I've planted them out here where they'll get most sun during the day. They'll start copping it pretty soon, an hour or so. I'll water them in, and the mint I'll actually plant over there, which gets a lot more shade. So there's the mint there, and I'll put that in now too, and then I'll get and have my normal morning shower a little later than usual today, but that's okay. Yeah, no, very happy with the service from Coles. They didn't send me a text message today. Apparently that all comes from Melbourne, and there was some technical glitch. They'll normally tell you about an hour before the delivery that it's coming. So, but overall, not bad. And I got the tree guy came round yesterday, and I'm looking at getting rid of one of the Cuban palms in the front. These palm trees are generally Cuban palms, or what they're called. That's not the scientific name, but that's the used name, and they are native to Mexico and the Caribbean and Florida, those sort of areas, and they've obviously were very popular here, and they work. They're a versatile palm to use in tropical areas, which Cairns is one of. So there you go. You'll see a lot of Cuban palms in Cairns. So, like I say, I've just got to water those 2 in, and then I'll just plant the mint, and then I'll have my shower, and I'll feel a bit better. I'm feeling a bit, in this sort of climate, you really need your morning shower. It's been a very warm winter. It was 27 degrees yesterday. Now, normally in winter, you're looking at probably a top of 25 at the warmest days, and generally the average is probably about 24, and you get some 22 and 23 degree days, but 27 seems pretty damn warm for winter. So we're having a bit of a warm winter here in Cairns. Anyway, I'm going to get another quote from these guys, and then get these trees removed. I think I'm going to be up to almost $3,000 to have it done. But so be it. They're big mothers, and they have to be removed. Apparently the mulch is crap from the Cuban palms. It hasn't got much nutrition in it, so it's not much use. Because they're going to have to do the root grinding to get rid of one of the stumps. So the one right next to the house that's overhanging the roof, that's the one I'm going to get removed. I'm going to leave the other one there. It's a bit further away from the house, and I'll just keep looking at it over the years and see how it goes. So anyway, that's it. I'll get back to my gardening. Well, it's Friday, another beautiful day in far north Queensland. I think today's a little better weather-wise. It's a little cooler. It's going to be a top of 24, what I recall. I've had 2 days of tops of 27, and I can feel the heat coming through the roof even with that temperature. So I'll definitely need to get the insulation done as soon as I get my get the LED lighting done in the house. Now I've got the quote that I'm reasonably happy with. I've just got to get a clarification off Tim, who's the electrician from Clifton Beach. Yeah, he's given me an okay quote, but I want to see if I can get the 10% discount if I pay cash. Haven't heard back from him yet. So anyway, I've been this morning. I hauled around 8 bucket wheelbarrow loads of mulch and put them in the garden here and one over the other side there as well. I've noticed that one of my plants is actually looking quite sick. That was in the pot there, and I've actually transplanted into the ground, but you can see that it ain't doing that well. It's the bottle brush, and compare it with the other bottle brush that I planted directly into the actual soil. Now that one looks a lot healthier. It looks in pretty good shape. Vietnamese mint's doing really well. I've just planted that yesterday, but it's looking healthier than when it was in the pot, and the rosemary's looking pretty good. That tree's doing okay. I moved another tree over, which is actually I potted into a larger terracotta pot. I moved it over here so to get a bit more sun. I think the afternoon sun you'll get more there. Over there is where I want to put a plant, because I want to just basically have some cover where the neighbour's driveway is. But I think probably a fern would be the best bet there. Now, I had a bit of a hassle with the having to get these trees removed, and that one in particular. That was fine with that tree, and it's okay with the rubber tree as well. But the problem I've got is with the dead tree down the back. Now the dead one in the back is a real problem for the tree lopper, because they can't get easy access to it to actually take it down, because it doesn't have a stable root system. Because it's not alive, it then becomes a problem for the tree loppers to actually remove. And it's the one over here, just in the corner. It's a worry for my neighbour, because it's right on the fence line, and they're worried it could topple over, which is fair enough. I mean, I'd be concerned too. It's not going to cause any damage here because I've got this great mound here, and it'd only hit other trees, but on their side it could cause some major damage to their backyard, so they wouldn't be happy. So I'm trying to get an arbutus, oh my god, a tree lop. I'll just say tree lop. I'm in trouble with that word, I don't know why. Not tree lopper, but the other one, the A word. But yeah, so basically I'm in a dilemma here. I'm going to have to get a couple more quotes, because the guy who actually quoted me on removing that tree said he'd need this special piece of equipment, which I think is some sort of like a trestle or something that they could work from, where they're not attached to the tree at all. So if the tree does something unpredictable, they're safe. And this piece of equipment costs $800. So the total quote for removing, say that tree there, and the one in the front, the big palm, was $1,800 all up if I pay cash. But just for this, the trouble with this one is that it needs a special equipment. The other complication is that the equipment's not going to be available until August this year. I want to get the thing out of here ASAP, you know, so I don't. It's a ticking time bomb. I need to get rid of the bloody thing. My neighbour tried getting onto the agent who was looking after the rental of this property, and they did nothing. They're really slack. And yeah, I'm going to try to get something done. I've already put in a request for 2 other quotes. Hopefully I'll find a tree lopper who basically will be able to handle a dead tree a little easier than than Dave, who quoted me on the quoted me yesterday or the day before yesterday on this on removing the dead tree. So yeah, just a bit of a hassle. Want to get it out of the way. It can be frustrating waiting for tradies to get their act together, and I didn't expect this to be such an issue. But a dead tree is much harder than a living one because there's a lack of stability there. That's one of those pads I bought just as a test from Kmart for the chairs. It's quite comfortable. This only cost, I think, $5, and it's got a bit of padding. It's quite nice, quite comfortable to sit in. I'd like to get something for the back as well. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.